All right, it is Figgie and the Moose here on this Tuesday on Pix 11 Plus. Good morning, Figgie. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you?
Good. Your pick almost won yesterday.
So close. So close.
Very close. He gave a good account of himself, Junior Caminero.
Yep, just definitely is no longer going to be the dark horse heading into next year's event.
No, not. It's fun. I mean, it was good. Cal Raleigh continues his season of really just what has been a magical year for the catcher. All the home runs he's hit, home run derby champion last night. Obviously gets paid. Good event. Jazz Chisholm didn't do all that much. He had 3 home runs. At least he hit more than one, but didn't go in there with great expectations.
Right.
Didn't go out there and lay it on. Said he was just going to go out there and have fun and enjoy the event. I mean, he's got 17 home runs in 65 games, but that event is more a case of the ability to go out there and pull the baseball. And no, I wouldn't say it was a home run hitter haven when you're looking down in Atlanta. There were a lot of balls that hit the top of the fence. You look at James Wood, my pick from the Washington Nationals. I think he had 16 home runs in the first half.
Yeah.
First round got eliminated, but hit a ton of doubles, balls ringing off the walls, everything like that. So
next year, maybe the doubles contest.
Yeah, maybe the doubles contest. But overall, I thought a good night for Major League Baseball. I thought the jerseys they were wearing were ugly. It's great that they're going to be wearing the regular jerseys, whether it be home and away later on tonight. Obviously, American League is the away team. National League is the home team. You're going to get Skeens and Scooble. That'll be fun for Major League Baseball. Paul Skeens starting his second consecutive All-Star game. Pretty cool moment for the Pittsburgh Pirates star. But overall, I thought the Derby was a good night last night. Sometimes it dragged a little bit, but I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think still I'm not a huge fan of the time limit for these athletes. As you can see, it didn't look fun for them at points, right? You can see how tired they were, how winded they were. And that always worries me because after Caminero finished his round, you saw him kind of go down, take a knee almost and just couldn't even be touched. And I'm sitting there going, please tell me he didn't tweak something. Please tell me he didn't tweak an oblique. That's all you need right now in an event like this. So I think that they'll have to look into changing the time format, maybe go back to the, 10 out format where it's not as, taxing on these athletes. I mean, undoubtedly O'Neal Cruz, when his first at bat, his first 5 swings were absolutely hellacious. A 513-foot home run into the night. You saw balls going where you don't normally see balls. Like it was almost so common to see the ball splash in the waterfall in center field. It wasn't like an ooh and ah thing where in a normal game you're like, oh my God, he got all the way to the fountain. He got all the way to the water in center field. They were hitting some unbelievable shots. I was very, very fortunate in my career. Milwaukee Brewers in 2002 held the event, the All-Star game. And normally, you go home for the 3 days and then come back. I was like, I'm not going home. I'm going to get tickets and be able to watch. And so I was able to sit down and be very close to the field. They wouldn't let you in the dugout even. I'm like, I actually play here. Is there no way I can get in the dugout and just watch? But I got to watch the home run derby with Sammy and McGuire and those guys. And they were definitely no doubt in my mind that the balls were juiced. I watched on a daily basis. Richie Sexton was a prolific home run hitter, hit 51 home runs before. And he never put balls close to where these guys were hitting baseballs. They were hitting them up above the restaurant, up above the slide, out of the ballpark. So you saw some crazy things. But again, a celebration of the game, the power of the game, and I think with the clock winding down, you need to keep hitting them and the distance matters and you get an extra swing. I like all that, but I think they got to cut down on the time a little bit or make it back into a outs kind of format.
Yeah, and we'll see if there's an adjustment. That's fair. I guess listen, I'm at work, so it's not like I'm sitting there and like watching it pitch for pitch. So it's kind of on in the background, and then you see the reaction from Carl Ravitch when a guy gets a hold of one. I thought the camera work was a little weak. I get confusing in terms of what they're doing. They should just kind of do it the one school where you're following the ball off the bat, stuff like that. The split screen's a little confusing, but For my purposes, selfishly, it worked for me. So
No. Listen, again, it was a tremendous event.
I wasn't the viewer at home, like sitting there and on the couch or, in the love seat or in the chair, watching it to where it's dragging a little bit. So to me, it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I've watched many golf events where the ball's traveling further and faster, and they're tracking these little golf balls in midair in HD quality, and yet you saw swings and like they're showing crowd views and views of the people, and you can see that the ball's way gone, and they're in right field and the ball's out in left field. That was a disaster, and we've both been around, production and the behind the scenes, imagining the director calling out the cameras and just going, "Give me 3. No, wait, 4. No, 5. Wait, go back to blue. Damn it, I missed it." And since they're rapid firing, you miss one, and now you're behind the 8 ball trying to catch up. Yeah, at some points you're like, well, are they even watching the Derby right now? They're trying to talk their way around because they're not getting the view of what the people at home are getting. So they're announcing these home runs, and they're showing people sitting in the seats in the chop house, balls out to left field. So the learning experience all the way around. But all in all, again, you get a guy like Junior Caminero who, announces his presence with authority, gets there into the finals. And Cal Raleigh, for him, there's no other time that you can have your whole entire family down on the field and celebrating with you, other than probably when you're retiring, David Wright style.
Or World Series.
Oh, win a World Series, exactly. So when you have actually competing with you, you have your younger brother, and your dad throwing it to you. There's no other event like it. So a very cool family moment for Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Absolutely. I mean, obviously some of the other headlines coming out of it, and we'll see about the All-Star game tonight. Not much to break down. I mean, it's a celebration of the sport. It'll be fun with Skeens and Scooble, getting the start this evening down in Hotlanta. But, the Yankees' potential interest in Suarez, the Arizona Diamondbacks, McMahon's name has been thrown out there. We talk about it. Actions speak louder than the words. We'll see exactly how aggressive Brian Cashman and company are going to be come July 31st in the MLB trade deadline. A lot of teams, obviously, in the reliever market. We'll see exactly how that unfolds. Mets starting rotation has gotten a lot healthier. It's an interesting time when you're looking at both locals who, for all intents and purposes, we could grade out what their, championship expectations are, or look at and say, as we did last night on TV, which team right now is better set up to win a World Series. Both are going to be playoff teams. It'd be surprising if we did not get October baseball in both Flushing and also in the Bronx.
Yeah, no, it would be a devastating year if we didn't have at least one. Both are still poised to get back atop of their divisions and make it in with the wild card, extended playoffs, all those different things. And once you get in is where it really becomes interesting, because the team that's playing the hottest, not the team that runs away with the division, we have seen time and time again be able to create a lot of noise in the postseason. I think that's what makes it's so fun for all these teams that, kind of stay the course and trust that they are still in it. There's only really 4 teams that are waking up on Thursday and going, we got no shot in this second half. So that's where the trade deadline gets real iffy, because what are you saying to your fan base if you're starting to trade away pieces? What are you saying to, the players when you're starting to trade away pieces? Remember, famously, the Mets were told, the way you guys play will determine what we're doing, if we're buyers or sellers. And they had, started winning games. They had the All-Star break, and they came back and they traded their closer, within a week. And you're like, wait, what just happened? We're within striking distance of getting a wild card, and you just traded our closer. And then those pieces started to fall, the Scherzer deal, the Verlander deal, to get back a bunch of prospects and, some capital, as far as, players that for the future, rather than sitting on the older guys that were just getting older. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what these teams do and how much are they all in. I know you as a Yankee fan are kind of tired of the same thing every year. Our prospects are, these guys are the next wave. The core 4, is back.
Yeah.
No, that happens once in a lifetime, and not like once per generation, or the baby boomers and the millennials. No, 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 no. That's once in a lifetime for anybody to see a core four like that come up and be able to make an impact the way that they did. So do you sit back and say Spencer Jones is the next Aaron? I saw something the other day. They had his minor league numbers compared to Judge's minor league numbers, and they're eerily similar. That's not an even fair comparison for the poor kid, because the next level is a huge jump, huge jump.
Sure, so for anybody, right? So
what can they do?
Yeah. We'll see exactly what they can do on the next level. So tonight you got the All-Star Game, MLB trade deadline coming up later on this month. We'll come back. We'll mix a little football into the conversation. It's Figgie and the Moose on this Tuesday right here on Pix 11 Plus. And welcome back. It's Figgie and the Moose right here on Pix 11 Plus. Make sure to check out Sports Nation Nightly each and every night, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. on Pix 11, starring myself and obviously Nelson Figueroa. A little bit football into the course of the conversation is the Jets making news yesterday, signing one of their star players, Garrett Wilson, to a $130 million contract extension. 90 of it is being guaranteed. That 4-year extension. So the Jets get a deal done with one of their star players, with one of their dynamic players. He's only, I think he's only 25. He's going into his 4th year in the National Football League, coming off a year in which, had 101 receptions, over 1,100 receiving yards. Hasn't had great quarterback play outside of probably last year being his best year when Rodgers was healthy. Before that, it was a lot of Zach Wilson. This year, you're going to get Justin Fields. It's going to be interesting, but, give Darren Muji and give Aaron Glenn a lot of credit for getting the deal done, not having this be a storyline, not having this being a headache. And now you look at it, he is signed now moving forward for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, the big thing you want to avoid as a new regime is holdouts and other storylines other than, getting prepared to go into your first season. And if they can have the young pieces locked up that they feel they're going to, need going forward, then that's a huge step. Sauce Gardner, of course, being next on that list, is a guy you want to lock up. The running back market thing, like where are we at with it reminds me of like, eggs are good, eggs are bad, bacon is good, bacon is bad. And running backs are what now? Are we okay with running backs? Because apparently Saquon Barkley, revolutionized the sport by being a running back and helping them win a championship, where just last year with the Giants, it was we could take it or leave it kind of thing. So do you lock up a running back who you love, you drafted, you trusted, and you feel is going to be a weapon for you? And it also comes into, the style of offense that you're going to have. It kind of says, what is you're going to try to be featuring. And that's going to be a lot of Garrett Wilson, who has his college teammate as a quarterback. Someone he probably has a long-standing relationship with, feels safe throwing the ball to, and and will look to time and time again. So he could put up monster numbers here, especially in this first year and maybe only year of Justin Fields, depending on how they do this season.
Yeah, and listen, I think when you look at Wilson, I think he's really good. I think he's one of the better receivers in the NFL. He's playing like he's an upper echelon receiver. It's difficult. I think you're paying him for what you potentially is going to be, not necessarily what he is, because he's being paid like he's Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb, and he's not that player yet. I mean, could he potentially get there to be that caliber player? Yeah, he could be, but that's what you're paying him to be.
Well, in his first 3 seasons, he's had over 1,000 yards and 80 receptions in each season. There's only 5 players in football that have done that. So you kind of have to look at the trajectory with having Zach Wilson,
but you're paying. No, I get it, but he's also, I think, the first receiver in the history of the NFL to, after 3 years, to get a contract north of $31 million per year on annual average. But you look at him as a player. Do you say to yourself, like, is he he's not Justin Jefferson. He's not Jamar Chase. He's not that caliber, but you're not wrong. I mean, it's not saying that he hasn't accomplished anything. It's not like you're paying him on just pure potential and potential alone, and there's not other things that come into equation. But I just wouldn't put him on that level of receiver in terms of going into it knowing that, like, he's going to make plays. Like, I go into a Cowboy game and saying, well, CeeDee Lamb, I know is going to make plays. I know Jamar Chase is going to make plays. I know Justin Jefferson is going to make plays. Like, I've seen Garrett Wilson also go into games and, like, disappear and have little to no impact.
Well, yeah, we've seen that, especially when Devontae Adams came aboard, right? It was, it was the feature was Devontae, and then the secondary thought the check down was going to be Wilson, and that's where he got most of his reps. Because if you would have asked me off the top of my head what was his season like last year, I would not have said those kinds of numbers. Quite frankly, I knew that he was, after his rookie record, the first season, his second season, he was, was Zach Wilson for most of the year. You're like, oh man, hopefully he can get enough receptions to have a solid season. But now you look at it, and I think it's in terms of not just potential, but with volume, that he's going to have more of an opportunity. The skill set is there. I mean, look at it the other way. Puka Nacua was a, 5th round pick, something of that nature. And before guys got hurt, you wouldn't have known who he was or his skill set. He's not the fastest of guys. He's not the biggest of guys, but the guy makes plays. Why? He gets 13 balls thrown his way, and he's able to catch 10 to 11 of them. And, I think that's the thing is, can you get a quarterback that can get him the ball? Can you take advantage of his skill set? And we talked about him being a playmaker, a guy who you got to get the ball in space to and see if he can, shake a tackle and keep going. So I think it's fair. Listen, as household names, like, am I yelling out, like the kids when they, when they pick up the balls on a hitting round, they throw them, no, Kobe, LeBron. It's not that situation yet with Garrett Wilson, but I get it. He's getting paid. And also, you don't know where this market is going to go. Like, it could skyrocket out of nowhere. We've seen the prima donna wide receivers and sit back and hold out and all those things. Make him comfortable, make him happy, and it's something now you have to live with, but you also have to find a way to take advantage of his skill set while he's in his prime.
No doubt. And next up is going to be Sauce Gardner, and that's going to be hopefully the next guy on the list for Muji and Glenn and the New York Jets. And it's amazing where, training camps are right around the corner. The National Football League is right around the corner as we continue to kind of race through summer of 2025, crazily enough.
Fast. No, I know it. It's been nuts. And it's been just a lot of fun sports thus far, and a lot of huge storylines, especially in the New York area. So we have to we've got a great fall to look forward to with both football teams and the hockey teams and new head coaches with the New York Knicks. So it's a lot to look forward to, but give baseball its time. Okay. That's why we play 162 games. We just had the fall.
It's going to get still its focus. There's no doubt.
Yeah. You had the all-star team.
Expectations.
No. Oh yeah. And I think, we're watching it from a view of like never before. Like, you feel is in all sports. I think we talked about this before. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't know who the GM was. I didn't know who the scouting director was. I didn't know who, the assistant hitting coach was. I didn't know any of that. It was the manager. There was the starting 9 players. So now you have such access to all this information in this day and age, and you play GM in your head, and we do it on a nightly basis, which is a lot of fun, right? Who do we think would be a great fit? We know nothing about the inside of that locker room. We know nothing about the inside of what's going on in their war rooms, but we can speculate. We can try to give our best guesstimates of what is to come. And then, you have a crash and burn like we've seen before, and the scare for both these teams, because they were cruising in first place, just, had a nice lead. And all of a sudden now they're back in the middle of the pack. And, for a team like the Yankees, it's not just one team. There's 3 teams all around them swarming. Whereas with the Mets, there's a little bit more of a cushion, and, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. For the Yankees, it's going to get more pressurized, and to see how they deal with that pressure on a night in and night out basis, where you've got the key to your defense, a young player who is struggling mentally and physically. That's something that is going to be interesting to see. So the storylines in New York sports, as always, are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, we'll have it all covered for you. And Volpe, I mean, I don't think they have any other choice. They have to continue to roll them out there. I don't think there's, you're not sending them down. You're not doing anything of that nature. Peraza can't hit. He can field. So there's nothing. The Yankees got no other choice.
Can Tommy DeVito play short?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Now that's a storyline, huh?
Chicken, yeah, right. Chicken parm.
His agent's making calls right now. Give the kid a shot. Just give the kid a shot.
Anyway, make sure to check us out later on tonight on Sports Nation Nightly, 7 p.m. on Pix 11. Enjoy the All-Star game tonight.
Yeah, I got one other thing. 2 words. Johnny Furphy. Did you see that dunk last night?
Oh, yes, I did. Yes.
And the picture of the
yes.
Do yourself a favor. Look up Johnny Furphy and the dunk of the year from Summer League. I don't care what happens the rest of the basketball season. He puts the team in a blender behind the back. Oh, the dunk. Yeah, the still photo is just fantastic. It's what every basketball player wants to put up on their rival. So that was one of the best dunks I've ever seen, and would be remiss if we didn't get a chance to talk about it.
No question about it. It was great. The still photos, check them out. Good call, Figgie, closing out there. For Nelson Figueroa, I'm Marc Malusis. This has been Figgie and the Moose right here on Pix 11 Plus.